Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back with another YouTube video, and this time we're going to try to push to 6600, which is Royal Champion, using what in my opinion is the best Lava Hound deck in the game right now. So as you guys know, Night Witch got a nerf, but Lava Hound is still very much viable, and I still think it's a very consistent deck. So it got a very interesting rework where the pups do more damage, the Lava Hound has more range, but I think the Lava Hound has less damage or something, so it was a pretty interesting rework. I personally think the Lava Hound is still a very good card. It's still very consistent, and the only difference with the deck is it has Goblin Cage instead of the Night Witch, because Night Witch, I feel like it's still good, but it's a little worse, and I just feel like Goblin Cage is just one of the best buildings in the game right now, besides probably like Bomb Tower and Expo, so it's really, really solid. But anyways, we're top 700, a little bit higher than last video. I think the last video started when I was about top 1000, so we're a little higher up. And we got to get 3 wins to get 6600. Hopefully we can get there. And yeah, like I said, Lava Hound is a fairly consistent deck. I mean, there aren't too many bad matchups. There's definitely some. It of course depends on the variant you use. Like for example, if you're versing a lot of Log Bait or something, you might want to consider using Bar Barrel instead of the Snowball, but then if you don't have a Snowball, you're not going to have a reset for things like the Inferno Dragon, like if you're versing an Inferno Drag or something, or like if you're playing against Bats, it can be pretty annoying to not have them. I'm going to go with a Miner in the back because he has a Hog and Snowball, so no one really uses Snowball in the same deck as Tornado, so it's pretty safe to just play it in the back. I'm going to Lava Hound now because I have my Barbarians in cycle. And Barbarians kind of absolutely wreck the Hog Rider, to be honest. Especially if they don't have a Fireball, which in this case he doesn't even have the Elixir to play it, so even if he had one, it wouldn't matter. And we should have a pretty nice counter push here. He probably has Bats, so I'll have Snowball ready for those. Looks like he goes for an Inferno. Pretty interesting Inferno, considering the Barbarians were there distracting. But it might end up paying off for him. We'll have to see. No, it looks like it won't. To be honest, the Inferno didn't really do anything to help out, which is really unfortunate for him. And if you guys didn't know, the Lava Pups one-shot the Skeletons now, which is pretty good when they use like Skeletons or Bats on defense. But yeah, as you see, he just lost a ton of his tower. Pretty unfortunate that he decided to go pretty aggressive with the Knight and Hog Rider. Honestly, if I were him, I probably would have gone for the Hog Rider opposite lane, because if he went opposite lane, what would have ended up happening is the Barbarians wouldn't have been same lane as the Lava Hound, and they wouldn't have distracted the Inferno. I'm gonna go for a poison here. Like, I know we're not hitting the tower, but it's gonna kill the Musketeer, and also okay, I don't think he has Fireball. Just looking at his deck, I feel like and the fact that he has Snowball and Bar Barrel makes me think that he doesn't have a Fireball, and if he did, he would have used it there 100%, so I know he doesn't. So I think what we can do here is we could probably just set up a Lava Hound. He doesn't, I think he's back to a Hog after one more card. Yeah, now he's back to a Hog, but we have Goblin Cage ready if he wants to send in a Hog anyways. Looks like he decides not to play it, so we'll just go for a Baby Dragon. We'll still have the Goblin Cage ready, making sure, yeah, if he goes in for a Hog, we will play it. That's a very good poison value. I don't expect the Lava Hound to get damage here, obviously, because the Inferno is a really nice counter to it since you don't have a reset to it. But luckily we got so much damage early on, we're just in a great spot. I'm making sure to switch up my Miner placement. I had a feeling he was going to predict it if I played it in the back, so I played it kind of like on the side there. Let's just cycle an Inferno Drag here, and honestly, as long as a Hog doesn't break through and get several hits, we have this game pretty much wrapped up. So I'm going to go for a Baby Dragon here. Let's just go with Barbarians. That was a pretty nice Bar Barrel, actually. Let's go Snowball on the Hog Rider, and as long as it doesn't get like... wait. Oh my gosh, it got so many hits on my tower. I don't know how many it got, but I think it got like 5 hits. Excuse me. So we do end up defending. I don't know how his Hog ended up getting like 5 hits on my tower. I guess it was because of the Snowball, the Earthquake, just everything slowing stuff down, managed to like let the Hog get several hits in, but we do manage to stop it. And you know, in the end, like just in the beginning, how much damage we got really just put us in such a great situation from there on out. If I didn't get that huge lead in the beginning, I probably would have played that a little bit differently, perhaps more. I would have had to like predict Infernos and stuff, but because I was up so much, it was pretty smooth sailing. And yeah, we're top 600 now, probably 2 games away. unless I get less than 30 in either one of the games, but I might end up getting more. It really depends. All right, we found a game here against Nick. Let's give him the good luck, and we'll see what he wants to do. I could just wait a little bit, and if he doesn't do anything, I'll play a Goblin Cage. All right, looks like we'll Goblin Cage anyways. I mean, that's a great counter to the Wall Breakers. So Lava Hound does pretty good against Wall Breaker decks because they don't typically have many air defenses. I don't need to play the Baby Dragon on the bats because the Goblin Cage was... the Brawler was distracting those, so I was just easily able to play it on the Miner. And I'm going to set in my own Miner here. I was going to say he might have a Tornado. Luckily he doesn't, because I know some variants of the deck have the Tornado. I'm going to go in for a Lava Hound here. Might seem kind of interesting, and I'm going to ignore that. But the reason why is because he just used a Magic Archer, and that's his only really way to kill air cars. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. He has bats too, but bats and Magic Archer are literally his only air counters in the whole deck. So sometimes you can take damage and sacrifice some of your tower, because look at this. We can snowball the bats, and then if he goes for Magic Archer, we just poison it, and then just go for Miner on his tower. And I mean, I think there's like literally no way he defends this, except he does have arrows, which is unfortunate, but we get so much damage. So since he has arrows, we do need to be a little bit careful. I was assuming he had like a snowball or log or something, but now that I know he has arrows, maybe this isn't going to be as easy of a matchup as I thought, but it's still going to be quite easy as long as I don't overcommit on defense. That's one of the biggest mistake I think I see people make, is they overcommit on defense when they use Lava Hound. But right here, this is a fine time to play a Goblin Cage, because that's going to help support the Lava Hound, force probably Elixir out of him that he doesn't want to use, because Skeletons alone don't fully stop a Goblin Brawler. He's going to decide to go for Bats, so I'm going to go for a Baby Dragon. And now he doesn't have any air counters in cycle. I'm going to go for Poison here on the Magic Archer and the Bomb Tower. We know that he's going to play arrows, obviously, so let's get a Miner down. And then I'm going to snowball over, even though those are just skeletons, I still think it's worth it just to get some damage on the tower. Oh, and the Baby Dragon's going to end up locking on the tower, which is great. Let's go for a Goblin Cage here. I'm going to go for a Baby Dragon because I don't really want to give him the tower just yet. He's probably going to Magic Archer here, which I guess is okay because he had to spend 4 Elixir. And I feel like, guys, at this point in the game, in a double tower situation, you kind of have the edge versus Wall Breaker deck. So I'm going to go ahead and just set up another Lava Hound push and Inferno Drag that. Pretty interesting that he's going so aggressive. I mean, I know it gets him damage, but he's going to have a really hard time defending my Lava Hound pushes if he continues to go in really aggressive like that. I'm going to send in a Miner here. Let's go for a Poison, being able to hit the Bomb Tower and the Magic Archer. Baby Dragon to be able to kill the bats, and then let's send in another Lava Hound here. That's going to distract the King Tower and just honestly apply a lot of pressure and be pretty annoying for him to deal with. He's going to send in arrows, but he's going to have another Lava Hound that's popping very soon. Miner there, and then we can go in for a Poison right here, and that might catch like bats or something, but it looks like he played the bats over there, so well played on his part. But look at all the damage I'm getting with just the Lava Hound, the pups, and I think it was the Baby Dragon that locked on this tower. So what I'll just do here is Baby Dragon, and then if he even considers going in for Wall Breakers like he did right there, I can actually just snowball them. I don't even have to play a Goblin Cage because the Baby Dragon was already down, so he played them right into the Baby Dragon, which is pretty interesting. Let's go for a Miner here, and then Poison, hitting the Magic Archer and the bats. And honestly, at this point, I think it's over. I think he's going to go for Miner Wall Breakers here as like a desperation, but it's not going to be able to break through, and it is going to be a GG. So you can see, even though they have the arrows for the Lava Hound, it's fairly easy to break through and win the game because they just have no air counters, and the air counters they have, you have Poison for the Magic Archer, you have Snowball for the bats, and then boom, they basically have no defense for your air units. But yeah, you saw at the beginning things got a little sketchy because I didn't end up getting as much damage as I anticipated at the beginning of the game because I didn't know he had arrows. But as soon as I knew he had arrows, I was careful from there on out, and I just knew he had them. So you just plan out your attacks a little bit differently, I guess. But yeah, we're one win away now, assuming I get 30 trophies, top 500 too. So let's go ahead and search for the next game, and hopefully the person isn't lower than me. If they're 10 lower or more, then that means you get less than 30. Maybe it's 9 or 8, but I think it's 10. I don't know the exact number. And we found a game here against Mahmoud, I think. Mahmoud. Anyways, good luck, and he is higher than us, so if I win this, we will end up getting Royal Champion. And he's not going to do anything here, so I'm going to Goblin Cage. It's probably the safest starting play in this deck. It forces a response out of them, and I mean, unless they decide not to do anything. I was wondering what he was doing because he wasn't doing anything right there. I'm going to Lava Hound into his Giant. I don't know what Giant deck this is yet. It could be like Giant Miner, could be Giant Double Prince, Giant Graveyard. And with the Mega Minion, or Mini P.E.K.K.A, excuse me, it's making me think it's probably going to be, if I had to guess, a Graveyard deck, but I could be wrong. Okay, at this point, guys, I have no idea what he's using. The Wizard is throwing me off. As you guys could imagine, I don't verse many Wizards. Luckily, we were able to kill his Wizard there. That's going to force a response out of him. He's going to have... Okay, he has Ewiz and Wizard. Interesting deck. I was considering poisoning that, but I decided not to because... Let's just Defensive Miner here. What that's going to do is ensure we take no damage from the Skarmy. We weren't going to anyways, but that's also going to counter the Ewiz. He's going to go... Oh, wow, he has a Balloon. Okay, I was not expecting that, and that's not good because the Balloon bypassed and he has Zap, so he won't take Tower here, but he's going to deal a lot of damage. And luckily that Balloon didn't get a second hit. That's actually so clutch. I don't know if you guys saw that. The Balloon was so close to getting another hit in. 2 hits. It only got 1. So that's really nice. I'm going to actually just go for a Lava Hound opposite lane here. I'm not really too worried about that Ewiz. I think at this point, I just kind of want to build up a push. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to Snowball just because I feel like an Ewiz alone would deal quite a lot of damage, but I'm going to ignore the Giant, so then that way I can go for a push here. I'm going to go for a Miner and then a Prediction Poison on his Skarmy. Okay, yeah, looks like we do get that going for us, which is good. So we will be able to take the tower here 100%. Barbarian's there on top of the Giant, making sure he just doesn't 3-crown us because the Mini P.E.K.K.A was there too. And we're going to take this, I guess, pretty slow. Let's go for a Goblin Cage here and see kind of like what he wants to do. Interesting Balloon. He's going to go for a Balloon, and it's not even a bypass, so that was actually a pretty... Yeah, and he's going to Zap overcommitting, so he just spent 7 Elixir there. So I think that was a pretty bad play, and he might have a rough time defending the Lava Hound now. And if he goes in for a Giant, I can just play Barbarians here, and then Snowball just making sure that the Skarmy doesn't, like, completely wreck our Barbarians. And then now we can go for a Miner on his Wizard wherever he decides to play that. And we know he doesn't have a Skarmy, so there's no need to poison right now, which is good. And then... actually, now I'm going to poison because the Mini P.E.K.K.A ended up taking it out, and he also played an Ewiz there. Let's go for a Baby Dragon, knowing that he doesn't have... Or an Inferno Drag, excuse me, knowing he doesn't have an Ewiz in rotation. He does have a Zap, so maybe looking at that, it wasn't the best Inferno Drag, but I think it's fine. Let's go for a Miner here. He's going to catch it. Well played. Let's Goblin Cage. We might need to be a little bit careful now. Let's go for a Baby Dragon, Inferno Dragon. Once again, pretty interesting Balloon in my opinion. Oh wow, he has the freeze. And he caught the Miner. Wow, he's actually playing really, really well right now. But luckily, guys, that's going to be Snowball range, and that will do it. So, GG to this guy. He really held on to that freeze. I was not expecting that at all. And I was so nervous because if his Balloon ended up getting another hit, I think I probably would have lost. At least it would have been so much closer. And then he could have sent, like, another Giant Loon in the pocket, and I might have not been able to defend it. I'm not really sure, but there we go. We hit 6,600. Was relatively easy. We won 3 straight games in a row, and since it's only been about 15 minutes, I'll probably play one more game. But yeah, you can see there, guys, that's a crazy deck. I typically don't ever verse decks like that, especially in I mean, I guess I'm not, you know, top 200 or anything crazy like that, but even in the top 500, that's an extremely rare deck to face. Double Wizard, Loon Freeze, Skarmy. That's definitely very, very interesting. I usually don't verse stuff like that, but then these two decks are definitely a lot more common. You see this deck a lot with Balloon instead of the Hog Rider, and then like instead of the Earthquake, Ice Golem, and then instead of the Knight, I guess, I don't know, it's slightly different. I think maybe Ice Spirit or something, or it's Bats. But yeah, so we'll go for one more game, see if we could even get to top 300. I think one more win will put me in the top 400, and then maybe, I think probably two more might put me in the top 300, but we'll see. Found our next game here against Rocket. Give him the good luck, and we start with a Lava Hound, so I'm going to have it ready, and if he wants to play anything, we'll just, depending on what he plays, we could go in for a Lava Hound, and if he chooses not to do anything, I have one of two options. I could cycle a Miner, or I could, okay, in that case, I'm actually going to leak a little bit here. Okay, let's just go for a Lava Hound in the back. You typically want to do this versus Mortar. I mean, you don't, like, you could go for an Inferno Drag on the Mortar, but, like, they'll often catch it with, like, Goblin Gang or something in this case, since he didn't have Bats in rotation. I don't... It's kind of annoying, like, giving up your tower so early on, but I feel like I don't really have much of a choice, to be honest. And hopefully we can counter push, because I didn't have... that was, like, really unfortunate. I didn't have Barbarians in cycle. I also didn't have... Hopefully he spends a lot here on defense, because if not, we might have trouble. But yeah, as you guys saw, I didn't have a Goblin Cage or Barbarians in rotation, so that's why when he went in for his Prince, I kind of had to let it go. If I had a Goblin Cage, I for sure would have just played it, and it would have actually protected, like, oh wow, I thought I played the Goblin Cage in time. I think, I don't know if it lagged, or maybe I didn't end up making a mistake in not playing it down in time, but yeah, that was unfortunate. I think I might have just not played it in time. But you know what? I think we might end up being okay. I'm gonna go for a poison, just to kill that. But yeah, guys, this game has not gone very well for sure. But I'll try to make a comeback. Let's go for a Miner in the back. Okay, now we get the Goblin Cage down for the Mortar, which is good. And the pups are easily going to be able to take it out. So looking at the time, make sure to always keep track of the time. There's 40 seconds left, so there's more than enough time to build up a Lava Hound push. But, I mean, as you guys can see, he has this tower down so low already because of the fact that... And unfortunately, he played the Miner there. Don't even catch the Miner, so... I think this will be a good game, unfortunately. Sometimes starting hands can cost you the game. Not all the time, but sometimes they can, because, like, as you guys saw... For the Prince, I just didn't have anything in rotation, and yeah, also there were a couple other, like, mistakes on my end. The Goblin Cage, there might have been, like, I don't know if it was lag or I just didn't play it in time, but that obviously didn't go well for me. But yeah, it's alright. I mean, I'll just, yeah, play another, and I mean, I'll show you guys what I was talking about. He definitely played it well, but I felt like my cycle was really, really bad starting the game off. Like, so when he did this here, that was fine, and then I just went in for a Lava Hound, and then you can see here, like, I don't have Barbarians or Goblin Cage in cycles, so when I... And the other thing is, it's not really a good play to play, like, Inferno Drag and Miner on a Prince. That's, like, a really huge overcommitment, and Miner alone doesn't do nearly enough damage to stop a Prince. What'll happen is the Prince will get a charge on it, and then after that, 2 more hits, and then the Prince will end up getting, like, 4 hits on your tower, and you had to spend 3 elixir, and then they'll end up getting 4 or something hits on your tower after doing that. So it's not really a good idea. That's why my idea was to ignore it. But, like, if you see right here, if in my hand I had barbarians or a goblin cage, I would of course played it, but that unfortunately was not the case for me. So I had to just like let the tower go, and then we weren't able to get anything out of our counter push here. It was also because partially the baby dragon got targeted by the tower, but yeah, unfortunately things just kind of went downhill for me there. And yeah, I can't say it was all cycle, but I definitely should have also made sure the baby dragon was behind the lava hound. That definitely hurt me in that situation, because then it would have helped take care of the goblin gang, and then also, yeah, maybe a couple other small things, but like the mortar locking on my tower, that was the other thing. Okay, so he has bats here. Maybe this is another mortar deck and we can redeem ourselves. We'll have to see. But he has barbarrel, so it's going to be a different one if it is mortar, because the last guy had zap, so it'll be something else. So he's going to have ice golem. It makes me think that this is going to be like a loon cycle deck. Yeah, I think this is Loon Cycle, so it's probably a similar deck that we played earlier, if you guys remember, the one with Inferno. So we might not have as good of a start as we did that time, but who knows? I'm just going to go for Defensive Miner here. I want to keep my Snowball in Cycle because it's really good against the Balloon, and also, yeah, like right here. Let's go for Baby Dragon here, followed by a Goblin Cage. Well, Goblin Cage first. And hopefully this doesn't get a hit. I honestly think with the help of the Baby Dragon, there's no way that that'll get a connection on my tower, even though he snowballed. I might have to poison here if he plays a miner, but he might not even have a miner in this deck. So now might be a good time to play a Lava Hound since, well, there's a couple of reasons why. One, he doesn't have a balloon in cycle. He will very soon, but not right now. And like, he's gonna have there now. He has a balloon, so let's go with an Inferno Drag here. And he might have to overcommit here. He doesn't have bats, so he can't like play bats. He's gonna snowball this probably. There's the snowball. And we'll go for that's not good. I'm gonna have to poison that. Okay, let's snowball that Musketeer into the opposite lane for sure, because I don't want to deal with it. So that's going to actually help a lot, and that might make me make a bit of a comeback here, despite kind of the bad decision-making at the start. Yeah, let's go for another Lava Hound here. Okay, I think we're going to tower trade. We'll see, though. Yeah, we're definitely in a tower trade. He spends so much elixir there, and there's no way he's going to be able to defend this. Because I can just play Snowball on the bats and then, like, poison the Musketeer if he plays it. I'm even fine activating King here, because there's no way that he's going to be able to stop this. Just because the Lava Hound has extra range, does a lot of damage. Oh, wow, he has the Bomb Tower. That might have been a bit of a mistake. I don't know why he played that, because the Lava Hound was already locked on the tower, but yeah, that's not really going to help him that much. I'm going to go for a Baby Dragon here. Oh, wow, I think he's really overcommitting on defense on the other side when he should be focusing on the left right now. And then we can just go for Snowball on those bats, go for a Baby Dragon. And now at this point, we can just keep, I guess, like, trying to overwhelm him. Unfortunately, the Musketeer does end up locking on the Baby Dragon. I was hoping he would lock on the Musketeer. That was a really smart miner, though. I'm going to still keep up the pressure, though, because we still have pups down. And that's good poison value. And then if he goes in for a balloon, I do have a Goblin Cage. And with the help of the King Tower, I don't think it's going to be too much of a threat. Yeah, it shouldn't even get a hit on my tower. I still am going to be really careful here and cycle like my Inferno Drag. I'm not going to really be aggressive right now because I don't think it's the right time to. But I am going to throw a miner because I definitely think that's going to like apply pressure, and he can't ignore like a miner. Oh no, I missed the Goblin Cage. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was so close. Good game. I got a little lucky there. I'm not sure I deserve to win that, but I do anyways. I end up winning it anyways. Yeah, so that got a little bit, that was too close for comfort, to say the least. I don't really know what happened in that game. Like, the missed goblin cage, and then also the beginning of the game wasn't looking good, but it really shows you, this deck, I would compare it almost to like a golem deck. It really is kind of like a golem deck. It's, you know, it's 4.1 elixir, just as expensive, but really the main difference is your win condition is 1 elixir less, but besides that, it's the same concept. You're, the one thing I would say though with Lava Hound, you're more comfortable playing a Lava Hound in single elixir. Because if they outcycle their air card, you can just go for like a Lava Hound. But yeah, I mean, those were some really good games. I think that that game didn't go well at all. I think I could have played it a lot better. And then also my cycle wasn't the best. I just had no Goblin Cage for the Prince, no Barbarians for the Prince, so that was a little bit unlucky. But if I, of course, have known he was running this variant, like, for example, if I was versing Lapocati or Igor, and if I knew they ran that variant, I wouldn't have played a Lava Hound so early on, because I knew they could just punish with, like, a Prince and Fireball the Barbs. But in this situation, I didn't know the variant he was running, if he was running, like, Rascals or not, because the only thing he revealed is that he had Bats and Mortar. But yeah, Loon Cycle is pretty easy because they don't have a lot of air counters, but you do need to really watch out in single elixir so they don't, like, take your tower. And then this was just kind of like a crazy deck, and then this is a deck that's used quite a lot, and just you need to be careful for the arrows because they can end up getting a lot of value, and then that's a similar deck. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I played 5 games, only lost 1, and we do end up hitting 6,600, which was my initial goal. So make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and let me know what decks you want to see next. I haven't used 2.9 on ladder in a while. Maybe I could make a 2.9 video. Maybe I could do minor wall breakers, because I think a lot of you guys have been, a few guys have been asking me to do minor wall breakers, and I haven't made a video on that yet. And then of course we also have this global tournament coming up in like 2 days, and I have off school Monday because it's a holiday for the United States, and yeah, that'll be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks again until next time.